If you're watching this right now, take a moment and imagine someone asking you for something so small, so pure, yet powerful enough to change the course of your life. Because today's story begins with the single sentence that stopped a powerful man in his tracks. "Sir, a broken bar, can you lift me up to see the sky?" And trust me, once you hear what followed afterward, you'll understand why millions of people call this one of the most heart-touching encounters ever. So before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories that remind us what truly matters. The ferry groaned softly as it drifted across the open water, sunlight dancing over the waves like shattered diamonds. Tourists leaned against the railings, snapping photos. Children laughed as they chased each other between benches, and elderly couples held hands while watching the endless blue horizon. Yet on the far corner of the deck, standing completely alone, was a man who didn't fit into the cheerful crowd at all. His name was Ethan Ward, 45, billionaire CEO, media-shy business giant, dressed in a charcoal suit that looked too formal for a ferry ride. He wasn't here on vacation or retreat. He was escaping the world for a day, pretending the overwhelming pressure on his shoulders didn't exist. For months, Ethan had been drowning behind conference tables, lawsuits, false media stories, and a company he built from scratch now slowly slipping out of his control. Worse, 3 months earlier, he lost his father, the only person who taught him that success meant nothing if you forgot your humanity. Ethan didn't cry at the funeral. He didn't hug anyone. He simply sat in silence, unable to feel anything. And now he stood on the ferry deck with the sea wind beating against him, a man full of achievements yet hollow on the inside. He closed his eyes, letting the wind hit his face, when suddenly a small squeaking sound reached his ears. A second later, a soft young voice broke the silence. "Sir, a broken bar, excuse me, broken bar, can you help me?" The words were so gentle that Ethan thought he imagined them. But when he opened his eyes, he saw Hira, a girl no older than 10, sitting in a wheelchair with tiny hands gripping the wheel rims. She had big, bright eyes that held equal parts wonder and exhaustion, her hair tied into 2 uneven braids, and her little legs wrapped in braces. Beside her stood her mother, carrying a backpack that looked much too heavy for her tired shoulders. The girl pointed upward with a trembling finger. "Sir, a broken bar, can you lift me up? I want to see the sky." "The real sky, a broken bar from up there." Ethan blinked. "You can see the sky from here, sweetheart." The girl shook her head with a seriousness far beyond her age. "Not like you can." She pointed to the railing. "You're tall. When you stand there, you see the whole sky, big and wide. From my chair, a broken bar, I only see half." Her voice cracked a little. "I want to know how it looks when people like you see it." Her mother sighed gently. "I'm sorry." She always dreams about things she can't reach. Her neck hurts when she tries to lean back, and she can't lift her head too long. Ethan looked at the girl again, and something inside his hardened heart trembled. This wasn't a girl asking for pity. She wasn't asking for money or attention. She just wanted a moment of the sky. The innocence of a broken bar, the purity of broken bar, the simplicity of broken bar. It pierced through Ethan's numbness like warm sunlight breaking through storm clouds. He crouched down slowly. "What's your name?" "Amara," she whispered with a shy smile. "And Amara, a broken bar, you want to see the sky like a bird does?" She nodded eagerly. "Just for a few seconds. I want to know what it feels like to look up without anything blocking me." Ethan felt his throat tighten. Without another word, he slipped his arms under her, careful and gentle, and lifted her as if she weighed nothing. Her mother covered her mouth to hide her tears. Amara clutched Ethan's shoulders, her eyes rising slowly higher and higher until she finally tilted her head back and saw the sky in its full, open glory. She gasped, a sound so pure, so full of wonder, that it made Ethan's eyes sting. "It's a broken bar, beautiful," she whispered. "It's so big. I never knew the sky was so big, a broken bar." People walking by stopped to stare. Some smiled, some wiped their eyes. That single moment at the sight of a man in a suit, carrying a fragile girl toward the sky, was powerful enough to silence the whole ferry deck. Amara laughed, a soft, ringing sound that echoed like music. "Mommy, I can see everything. The clouds a broken bar, the birds a broken bar, the sea a broken bar. I feel like I'm flying." Her mother broke down crying. Ethan swallowed hard, blinking back tears he didn't expect. When he finally placed Amara gently back in her wheelchair, she touched his hand. "Thank you, sir. I will remember this sky for the rest of my life." Ethan knelt beside her. "Thank you, Amara. You reminded me how beautiful the sky can be." As the ferry approached the island, Ethan walked with Amara and her mother, listening to them share stories about the girl's condition, the hospital visits, the struggles of being a single mother, and the financial challenges that overshadowed everything. Amara had a rare spinal condition, slowly weakening her muscles. Doctors said long-term treatment might help her walk again someday, but the cost was beyond their reach. The more Ethan listened, the more he felt something he hadn't felt in years: a sense of purpose. Not business purpose, human purpose. At the island, Amara tugged his sleeve. "Sierra Broken Bar, will you stay with us today?" He had shareholders waiting, emails, deadlines, meetings that could not be missed. But then he looked into her hopeful eyes. A broken bar and everything that mattered became quiet. "I'll stay," he said softly. The three of them spent hours walking away, Ethan walking while pushing Amara's wheelchair through the sand, through the little beach market, through the shady palm tree paths. Amara laughed more in those hours than she had in months. Her mother relaxed, her shoulders losing the weight of endless worry. And that on a broken bar he felt alive for the first time since his father passed. As the sun dipped low, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold, Amara looked up at him again. "Sir, can I ask one more thing?" Ethan smiled gently. "Anything." She held up a small paper she had drawn and not a sketch of herself standing with robotic legs. "Can you build this one day, for me, or maybe for kids like me, broken bar, who want to stand and see the sky without needing someone to lift them?" A tear slid down Ethan's cheek, surprising even him. He nodded, voice trembling. "Yes, Amara, I promise you a broken bar I will." He didn't just say it, he meant it. Months passed. Ethan funded her treatment. He hired engineers to develop lightweight support frames for disabled children. His company shifted from chasing profits to building purpose. And Amara, through countless therapy sessions, setbacks, and triumphs, learned to take her first trembling steps. Not alone, not without help, but standing tall enough to see the sky on her own. 1 year later, on the exact same ferry deck, Ethan watched as Amara, supported by the exoskeleton frame his company built, walked toward him, slow and shaky but filled with pride. "Sierra Broken Bar," she called out, raising her hand high. "I don't need to be lifted anymore. I can see the sky now." Ethan covered his mouth, tears streaming freely. Amara reached him, gripping his hand tightly. "You lifted me once, now you help me lift myself." The sun set behind them, painting the sky with the same colors she once couldn't see. And Ethan realized that sometimes, helping someone rise teaches you how to rise too. So if you're still watching this broken bar, remember, a small act of kindness can change a life, sometimes even your own. And if this story touched your heart, even for a moment, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories that remind us that humanity is still alive. A broken bar, still beautiful, a broken bar, and still worth fighting for.